Ow, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I am getting invested in these. Oh, I'm getting invested. That's so crooked, isn't it? This is infuriating. I have one moment of peace. You know what? That'll do. Wow, that really pissed me off for no reason at all. Which is great because today we're going to be finding out, am I the asshole? But it's other people who are being potentially assholes. There's a Reddit page, which I'm sure you're all aware of, called Am I the Asshole? People submit their stories. Sometimes it is just so blatantly obvious that they are being an asshole. Why they need to ask the internet is beyond me. But self-awareness is often in short supply, so that's also not shocking at all. Welcome back to my low budget shit show. I'm Brianne, the sunburnt string bean running this hellhole. I want to just jump into these. I find these so entertaining and infuriating. And I'm a little bit hangry. That's the problem. That's what's happening. I'm hangry. That makes perfect sense. My tolerance for humanity just disintegrates if I'm hungry. So I think actually it'll be hilarious that I'm hangry and reading these. So watch out for that. But before we start, if you would like to support the channel, which I greatly appreciate, because a decent chunk of my videos get demonetized, especially the ones that you request the most, the TikTok reaction videos. The best way to help support the channel is to check out my clothing brand, Rift Supply Co. We got a bunch of cool hats, which I'm really proud of. Definitely my favorite line of products I've ever released. But we got hoodies, crew necks, fuck off socks, a bunch of different cool t-shirts. It's not just YouTuber merch. Like, I put a lot of effort into these designs. Everything that's on the site is stuff that I would like to wear and I do wear. So check it out if that's up your alley. If not, give Rift a follow on Instagram because that helps out a ton. And you can get 15% off site-wide when you become a member of my channel. Members get access to a whole separate section of my channel where we can have a chat, vote on upcoming videos. If you have questions or ideas or just anything really, you can post it there. You get custom emojis on your name that change the longer you've been a member. Shout outs at the end of every video to new members. Whole bunch of stuff. So if that sounds like you, all of the links will be below. Any and all support makes my day every single time. Very much appreciated. Let's review some assholes. Did I need to say that? No. Ow, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Just had a little squiz of the title of this first one and I think, let's not judge a butch. I meant to say let's not judge a book by its cover, not let's not judge a butch by its cover. But anyway, let's not judge a book by its cover. But this says, am I the asshole for not going to my girlfriend's son's funeral? Be inclined to say yes, but let's find out. I, 28 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 30 female, for 2 months. I think we had a good relationship. She has a son, 11 male. My girlfriend and I were good friends for a few years. We met through mutual friends, and so I've spent a lot of time with her alone until 5 months ago. I knew she had a son because she's posted about him on Facebook a few times. Hold on, you were good friends for years, but you only found out that she had a son because she posted it on Facebook a few times? Good friends for years, new son through minimal Facebook posts. He has some sort of liver condition and was awaiting a liver transplant. It's just him and his mum. I don't know much about him as my girlfriend is very reserved talking about her son. A lot of this is weird. I'm getting weird vibes. I have a little sister, 26 female. I've always been closer to her than with other siblings, considering we're only a few years apart. When she was 11, we were fighting at school and she ended up fainting. She had to stay in hospital for a few days to have some tests done and she ended up being diagnosed with diabetes, not related to her death. What? Can someone let me know, am I missing something here? Is the sister dead? I think it changed the dynamic of our relationship a lot because she was in hospital a lot more than other kids and it was the first time she ever opened up to me about his health conditions. In early October, my sister got into an accident. It was very sudden and because she still lives near my parents, they were heartbroken. They don't have any children apart from my sister and I, so I went to help them. Fucking lots on. So lots of some bad juju happening here. Lots of bad luck. I grew up in Australia, and my sister and my family still live there. I live in America currently. The funeral, oh, so she did die. This guy sucks at writing things or I suck at comprehension. For the funeral and to console my mum and dad, I decided to stay there for 10 days to help plan the funeral. On my second day there, I got a call from my girlfriend. She said her son had passed away during the night. Jesus Christ. What a horrible series of events. I tried to help her the best I could even though I was already sad about the death of my sister. She said she wanted the funeral to be done soon and that it would happen on the 6th day of my 10-day trip. My sister's funeral was on the 8th and I was going to take 2 flights there and 2 flights back in less than 2 days to go to both. Oh, buddy. Lots on. Heaps on. My girlfriend got upset and said that I didn't care about her son and I was upset at her too because I had just lost my sister. I'm understanding now. I'm getting it. She told me that her son thought of me like a dad and I'd never met him, so I told her I didn't think of him like a son. She hung up angrily and we haven't spoke since. There's so many weird things. I'll admit I was harsh telling her and a grieving mother didn't deserve that. However, I don't think I was wrong to push the idea of me being this kid's dad. Reasonable, I think. That's reasonable. Like, yes, could have been handled better. No, you're not his dad if you've never met him. All my mutual friends think I'm the asshole for not going. and that I should have told her later, but she knows I've never met her son, and I wouldn't ditch my sister's funeral to go to her son's. Fair enough. This kid you've never ever met. Okay, so the mutual friends with the chick think he's an asshole. His separate friends think he's in the right. I think the mutual friends might be a little bit biased. My friends though think I did the right thing and I wasn't obligated to go to his funeral. Don't know what I should have done. Glad I went to my sister's funeral, but I feel bad. What is the consensus? Because if it's not that this dude isn't an asshole, I'm gonna be shocked. The top comment says, not an asshole, grief is horrible, hope you all heal. Which I think is the most reasonable and neutral way you can approach this whole situation, because it's just very, very high tension situation across the board. I'm still confused about, there's only a few posts on Facebook. He's never met his girlfriend's son. She doesn't talk about him much, and he suddenly died, and it comes out that he's got all these health issues. I don't know if I've consumed too much TikTok or the internet and probably conspiracy theories, but it just sounds like maybe this kid has the potential to not exist. Food for thought. Some of these are so fucking stupid. Am I the asshole because I baked my own birthday cake after my wife bought one? Who cares? Who gives a shit? I'm not even reading it. That's a waste of everyone's time. Both of you get over it. Am I the asshole for not telling my wife about our son's broken arm? Not sure how that would even occur. Let's find out. Backstory, I, 42 male, have been with my wife Janet for 40 females. My wife Janet, 40 female, for 16 years. We have one son, Jack, 11 male. Before we started dating, my wife, her mum and her sister had dreamed about doing a girls trip together. They never pulled the trigger, but they talk about it at least twice a year. In all things considered, not that often. So for a combined birthday / Christmas gift for everyone, I booked and paid for a 7-night cruise for the 3 of them. Everyone was super excited and I was husband / in-law of the year. 2 days into the cruise and my son, being a boy, broke his arm. We rushed him to the doctor and he's holding up great. Break wasn't severe and his cast isn't covering his entire arm in the permanent hand raised position. Honestly, I don't know what that means. Here's where I might be the asshole. I didn't tell my wife when it happened. My initial thought was to immediately call her, but then I thought it through. 1, I didn't have an easy way to call. She's on a cruise with no cell service. 2, there was nothing she could do. Was she going to cut it short and get a crazy expensive one-way flight to come home? I didn't want to worry her. And 3, our son was fine. He was upset and he had to wait for the swelling to go down to get a cast because he wanted everyone to sign it. 4, she was going to be home when the cast went on. So I didn't tell my wife till I picked her up. Now everyone is calling me an asshole for keeping that information from her. Somehow by not telling her, I also ruined the trip. I just wanted her to enjoy a trip she's been talking about for almost 2 decades. I mean, I'm not a mum, so I really don't get why that would bother her so much. I get there's probably some motherly shit going on, but if you couldn't contact her, didn't know how to contact her without cell service, didn't want to be a pain in the ass, didn't want to ruin the trip, blah, 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 I probably wouldn't tell her either. Like, if it's not life-threatening and like a huge health issue, why would you? Am I the asshole for calling my sister a delusional, insane, selfish woman? I hope you're not the asshole, because that's hilarious and I would love to laugh at it. My sister Vicky and my wife Alina met in their first year of university. Alina was a shy international student while Vicky was very outgoing. Alina credits Vicky for helping her grow out of her shell and for helping her to get past her culture shock. Vicky actually introduced Alina to me and the rest is history. Vicky and Alina used to bond over not wanting kids. Vicky used to claim that Alina was the only woman that understood her and she wasn't like the other girls who wanted many kids early. Vicky used to shit on people in university who had kids early or shit on mums who didn't have their kids in control. I never used to want kids either, but I always thought Vicky was taking a bit too far. Alina agreed with me on this, but we really didn't speak up about it. Fast forward years later, Alina and I are happily married and Lena and Vicky are still good friends, albeit not as close as they used to be. About a year ago, Alina and I welcomed our beautiful daughter into the world. Let me be completely honest, we weren't expecting her. Join the club, I'm sure that's half of us. When Alina got pregnant, we were sure that we didn't want kids. We took a long time to carefully consider all our options and finally decided to keep the pregnancy. I'm so glad that we did. My daughter is about 1 and she's the greatest joy of my life. Throughout the pregnancy, Vicky started to act very odd. When Alina began to show, she started making comments like, "You're ruining your beauty," or "You're going to be a terrible mother." It was horrible. What a dick. We didn't speak to her for months, but we still held hope that she would change her mind after a while. What is this woman's deal with? I mean, I don't love kids, but it's very loaded with something and I don't know what. We were wrong. After our daughter was born, Vicky started making disgusting comments about our baby, calling her the thing that ruined Alina's life and the ugly duckling of the family. That is fucking so out of line. The comments towards Alina didn't stop either. She called her used and unattractive. I told Vicky to stop or never speak to me again. I had not seen her in almost a year. Okay, that is a commitment to hating children. Something's happened there. My mum invited the entire family for dinner this past weekend. I knew that Vicky would be there, but I hoped that she would be kind enough. Once again, we were wrong. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Vicky. Sort it out, dolls. At first it was fun. Vicky came over to surprisingly apologize to Alina for speaking about her body like that. She said that she only did it because she felt betrayed by Alina for getting a child getting a child when they both agreed they hated kids. Weird person. Really odd way of thinking. She told Alina that Alina owed her because she helped Alina get over her nasty accent and introduced her to her husband, me. Dash of racism there as well. Alina and I found this so discomforting. Yeah, Alina tried to reason with her, but she got really loud that everyone stopped to stare. I told Vicky that she was being ridiculous, and she countered by saying that I caused Alina to lose her value. What is it? Who is this? What is wrong with this chick? I called Vicky a delusional, insane, selfish woman and left early, so that's where it comes from. And yes, we can laugh at it now because she is a delusional, insane, selfish woman. This is nuts. My family thinks I should have heard Vicky out. If Vicky had a point to hear out, yes. But if her point is that a friend betrayed her by having a kid and therefore lost value as a human being, no. Bitch, what? Obviously not the asshole. I don't think this is up for debate. Am I the asshole for asking my wife to pay her fair share? I, male 39, have been married to my wife Stacey, female 30, for 5 years, and we have 2 children together. I also share 3 children with my ex-wife Hannah, female 37. Ever since Stacey and I got together, she'd made it very clear to me that my 3 children are mine and Hannah's responsibility, not hers. Rad. This has worked out so far, but lately it's been taking a toll on me. And I get a good vibe from this one. I pay Hannah child support every month. Ever since Stacey had her first child, she has demanded that I give her the same amount of money each month to keep things fair. In addition, I have to pay for half of our joint household expenses, i.e. mortgage, utilities, food, and my own car. Stacey pays for the majority of our expenses for our children. Here lies the problem. Stacey has never taken issues with having to care for mine and Hannah's kids. She picks them up from school, takes them to activities, and ensures they have everything they need. I feel like we're gonna have an asshole on our hands because I don't like where this is going. However, anytime she purchases anything for them, she immediately sends me a Venmo request and demands I cover all expenses related to children that are not hers. Yes, this is sounding very fair enough. We recently went on a family vacation and she demanded that I pay for half of the portion of our children and all of the portion for Hannah. I told her that all these expenses are taking a hit in my finances and she didn't seem to care. She reiterated that my children are my responsibility. Yes, obviously. To add insult to injury, where is the injury, sir? Where is this invisible fucking injury? She recently started contributing money to college funds for her kids, while Hannah and I have saved nothing for our kids' college. This is a man-child. Like, what do you mean? Obviously, she's not going to be saving for the college fund of children that are not hers. Hannah found out and asked that I start a fund for our kids. You have put yourself in this position, sir. Haven't read the rest of it, but I'm inclined to think it's 100% your own fault. When I talked with Stacey about this, she said this was fine, but I had to put the same amount of money in the funds that she had set up for our kids. So I told Stacey I need her to start paying her fair share of expenses around her household, which she is, and she's also paying for the majority of the expenses for your and her kids. Your kids, sir, because I know you're watching this, obviously. I cannot afford to pay child support, household expenses, and all these miscellaneous expenses that come up for my kids. Emphasis on the kids you made. Your kids. It wouldn't hurt her financially as she makes more than me and could easily spare some money, but they're not her fucking children. They are not her children. Why would she pay for them? Stacey blew up and took our children to her parents' house and I haven't heard from her in a day and a half. Am I the asshole for demanding that she pay her fair share? It wouldn't be a fair share, asshole. What I'm gathering is she's paying for her half of the household expenses and almost all of the expenses for your kids because you have other kids that you also want Stacey to pay for, as well as their college fund. Get a fucking grip, bro. In my eyes, he's got it pretty good here and he's still having a whinge about it. So what if she wanted him to pay half household expenses and strictly half child expenses? Oh, here's another one that I think is just gonna be the same. Am I the asshole for expecting my girlfriend to pay her share of the rent? Which way is this gonna go? We never know. My girlfriend and I have been dating for a year and we want to move in together. We want a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment or a townhouse near my work. I'm a second-year pathology resident and my residency is 5 years long. She works from home and wants an office. She also makes 120k a year and I only make 68. Our rent is $1,800 a month plus utilities and she wants to go half on both rent and utilities, so we both would pay roughly $8,000 a month. I don't know if it's just because the Gold Coast is in a housing crisis, but that's pretty cheap. Because she's using one of the rooms as her office, I feel like she should pay more, so I should pay $700 and she should pay $1,300. She thinks even if she's using an extra room because living near the hospital is very expensive, I should pay half because we could get a cheaper place if I don't live near work. She thinks that because we're paying more to live near my work, so I don't have to pay for gas, I should pay half for rent. I find she's being selfish because she makes much more than me, and once I complete my residency, I can easily make $350K a year or more. But according to her, it's not fair for her to wait 3 years to potentially get paid back because we could break up and she would have subsidized me. That's just smart. That's what we call common sense. So I can see both sides here. Yes, she's using extra room, but it's expensive because he lives near work. So to me, if she isn't willing to pay a bit more to put some skin in the game, skin in the game. This is a relationship, not sports. Also, skin in the game would be moving away from your work, so you have to pay more on gas. That's also skin in the game. To me, if she isn't willing to pay a bit more to put some skin in the game, she's being a gold digger and waiting for me to make bank without giving anything in the first place. No. We argued about this a few times and I just want to know if I'm crazy or in my thinking or she's being selfish. You are crazy in your thinking. This is delusional. This sounds like either an ego hit or like it's triggered some kind of insecurity in this guy about being used for money that he doesn't have and she does. Because yeah, why would she pay more when you're getting the benefit of being closer to work at her expense? So you get a benefit, you're close to work, you save so much on gas. She should also get a benefit, which can be using the fucking office for her work, which is already saving a headache because you don't have to go be working 2 different places and argue about where to live. And she would literally be subsidizing you, and a million things can happen in that time where she wouldn't get paid back and she's just paying the majority of it, getting nothing out of it. And in this situation, he's the gold digger. She's earning substantially more than him, so by default she can't be the gold digger. And on top of that, he's also requesting that she pay more so that he can be closer to work and save money. He is 100% the gold digger in this situation. What a delusional way to think. I have a feeling this dude is going to be quite single very fast. Am I the asshole for not wanting my husband to walk his sister down the aisle? I would immediately say yes. But let's see. My husband Mike, 37, is the eldest in his family. He's pretty close with his sister Beth, 28, and they spend almost all week together. Beth had issues with her father growing up. She went no contact with him after he took her first car and damaged it. She only remained in contact with Mike since everybody else judged her for going no contact. Poor Beth, just straight out the gate. She's getting married to her fiance of 3 years. From what I understand, she and her dad are slowly getting reconciled, but she made it clear she wants him to take no part in the wedding. Fair enough. She asked Mike if he could walk her down the aisle and he agreed. I have to say that I was taken aback and it felt a bit odd for me because her dad is alive, they're on speaking terms again. He's gonna be there at the wedding, so the logical thing to do is have him walk her down the aisle. Immediately no. Immediately no, lady. What an unempathetic, disconnected, head up your own ass thing to say. This role isn't for her older brother but her father. No, it's not. Her father's a deadbeat. He lost those privileges. It's not a right. His brother's clearly better suited for the position. And regardless of what roles and what responsibilities and all this shit happen, if she just wanted her brother to do it because that's what she wants, great. It's her wedding, she can and should do whatever the fuck she wants. But especially when her dad has screwed the relationship between her, why should he get to do that? Not to mention how father-in-law will feel about it. Who gives a fuck what he feels about it? I brought this up with Beth and she had an attitude and implied that I was just saying this and objecting because of how I feel about the situation and not how our traditions should be practiced. We got into an argument and I went home. This lady sounds like a piece of work. Mike thinks I'm being unreasonable. You are, and possibly causing him to miss something so sentimental, and that if anything, he feels honored to be asked to do this for her, and said that I should stop worrying about what others might say. You should. It's also none of your fucking business. Why does this chick even get a say in it at all? She's got nothing to do with this. Now we're having this conflict, 3 of us, and cannot seem to reach a solution. There shouldn't even be a conflict. This is like literally none of your business. I am getting invested in these. Oh, I'm getting invested. In my opinion, there is no conflict. Like there's no room for you to have an opinion on this. Beth wants her brother to walk her down the aisle. Her brother wants to walk her down the aisle. The father's a piece of shit. As I said, self-awareness, not super common. I don't know how she's sat down and like written all of this out, relayed all this information and not been able to see that this has nothing to do with her. She's just put her nose in someone else's business, passed a bunch of judgment and is surprised that there's conflict. The fact that Mike and Beth are even entertaining her bullshit is beyond me. I'm gonna end it there because the lighting's actually gotten quite shit. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed that, make sure you give it a like, subscribe, become a member of the channel if you want to. The member shout out goes to Cleo Sylvia. Thank you for becoming a member. I will try not to let the lighting go to shit next time, and I will see you in a few days with a new video.